You hit that button again? There we go.
What's up there, Steve?
So.
About to go live.
It is live. What are you talking about?
Well, we are live. Are we live?
ADV Gourmet. Here we go. Showtime.
ADV Gourmet.
Is that our host? Our hostess with the mostest?
No, this is next.
So we're on?
I don't know. I'm about to look. Yep.
How come you give me the hot
It
seat?
seems that we're on.
Is you in charge?
How's the audio?
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's right here.
How's the audio?
No, where's the audio?
Listen, we're getting a little reflection in this thing back here.
I know.
Well,
You're such a
I
photographer.
can actually
can't
fix
help
that
it.
if you want me to. Pardon me, is that what we're doing?
No,
It's
don't mess with it.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, look, there's a delay.
Oh, there is.
All right, so why are we here?
Let us know in the chats. How's the audio?
It's right here.
Oh, sorry.
Justin said audio is good, so
Yes,
you don't have to yell.
Nice. Who's on? Hey, Justin. Awesome. Hey, ADV Gourmet. I can't remember your name, your real name.
So it's 12
Is it
o'clock on
time?
the nose. I suppose we should tell them why we're here.
It's 12 o'clock. Let's get started.
Do it.
Welcome back to Moto Photo Adventures, everybody. Welcome to our next live.
Yes.
Steve here drove all the way down from Hartsford, so it's nice to.
2 hours. I did not bring the bike today. It was a little brisk this morning, and I had a bunch of stuff to do, and I had to run a couple errands in the process, so I decided I would cruise control and climate control was a plus this morning.
Hurricane Ian has left us, and in its wake, we've got some very cool temperatures. So,
Yes, Ian. I don't know if I like to say Ian as a hurricane. It just feels weird in my mouth.
It does
Ian.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it should have been a whole lot less catastrophic.
It should be something
with a name
like-
like Garrett. Yes, with a hard G. Yes.
Or Jason.
It just needed to go away, and it did. Not without doing a bunch of damage, though.
Well,
So-
today, I was just going to say we're going to talk a little bit about motorcycle ADV rallies and meetups and gatherings. Before we start, we do want to let you guys know we have a very special guest at the very end. We're going to save our favorite rally for the end, because actually the sponsor, the organizer, the founder of this rally is actually going to be joining us. So make sure you stick around. It's going to be really cool. We're going to invite him in, and he's going to be telling us about that rally.
Yep.
So the rallies that we're going to talk about are basically just gatherings that we would love to attend. So we want to know from you guys too, which ones you guys like. Bearing in mind that we live in Charleston on the East Coast, all of the ones that we've picked are ones that we could actually get to on our bikes. So we're going to be talking about East Coast rallies. And I know Steve's been to Sturgis. Did you like Sturgis?
I did like Sturgis.
When did you go?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
No, right before COVID, so it was 3 years ago.
Okay.
If you've never done Sturgis, go. The riding out there is incredible. I will say that I've never seen so many motorcycles in one place at one time. It was unbelievable. And even if you can't make it to the rally, just go out there and ride. The roads and the scenery are incredible. I mean, it blows my mind that for an area that is covered in snow part of the year, the roads are in great shape. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say they would go out and repave them right before Sturgis, but they were.
They knew you were
in
coming.
great
Yeah,
shape.
they knew you were coming.
They knew I was coming.
Yeah, they knew you would be
Because I
talking about
saw
this
it.
3 years later, and so
So they got after it.
that's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Sturgis.
Now, when you went though, you also, not only did you have your Africa Twin, you also had a Harley Davidson.
Right, I had a Heritage Softail, and I took both of them out there. We trailered out. Sorry, we're not hardcore. I wasn't hardcore at that time, and plus with the time limitations, my wife ended up flying in with some of the other wives and three guys. We trailered the bikes out there.
I love when he goes off on tangents that are unrelated.
So anyway, well, let's
This is
talk
how
about the story.
This is
man.
one of those "How did we get there" episodes.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, yeah, go out there.
Did you buy
But I took
anything?
the Harley and the Africa Twin, and
Yeah.
So the reason for asking that, even though you rode your Africa Twin more while you were out
I
there,
did.
just to mention that was more a Harley Davidson slash street riding group, right?
But while there were a lot of Harleys out there, since it is the quote unquote Harley Rally, there was a bunch of adventure bikes, all kinds of bikes out there.
Shooting
So,
around so I can look at Stevie.
don't think it's just a Harley Rally.
All right.
And nobody really turns your nose up at you if you're on a different bike. Bikes are bike, and bikers are everybody knows bikers. So.
Cool. Non-denominational. And you'll find some of the rallies that we picked, again, we focused more on rallies that are for off-roading and adventure riders. But some of the ones we picked are sponsored by other brands, but all bikes are welcome. So agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else did, why,
How many people out there have been to Sturgis? Leave a comment.
good call, I bet a lot.
And leave comments on rallies that you either have been to or want to go to, and let's see if they match up before our lists.
So the whole purpose of why we thought this would be a really neat idea was we're kind of approaching the end of riding season. We have a pretty long riding season down here. But over the winter, we all sit around going, oh, man, let's plan our calendar out. What are we going to go see? What are we going to do? And, you start getting that itch. And so we thought this would be a great idea to kind of share with you guys, when you're opening your calendar up and trying to figure out, okay, what ride am I going to do, or what trip am I going to go do for 2023 when you're sitting around with snow all over the place. This might help you to kind of figure out which ones you want to attend.
Right. Well, he said what his favorite, or at least named one. What is one that you have done in the past or possibly looking forward to in the future?
Well, my favorite by far is Horizons Unlimited. But you're going to tell us about that one.
But that's Horizons Unlimited.
Virginia, yeah. I've been to a number of different Horizons Unlimited, but and I was so sad this year. If you went to the Horizons Unlimited in Newfoundland, the inaugural, like this was the first one ever, leave a comment, man. I'm so jealous of people. I know Scott and I know Greg and a bunch of guys that maybe
It would only
joined us.
take 3 or 4 days just to get there.
Right. That was the problem. No time.
Well, so, this is a good timing type of conversation because coming out, everybody's open. COVID is basically over, so says the president, and so we should get back onto the bikes and riding around some more. So this is an apropos moment. So what is this?
But we're still greeting people like this.
I suppose that's true.
I get that a lot.
So jump in. I'm going to talk about the Horizons of Virginia a little bit. I don't know a ton. I've only been to it once, and it was a brief stay because we got pulled out by a wedding, and so. But
Which is kind of cool.
but yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's on the channel. Check the video.
The one in 2023, the dates have been set. I think it's April 27 through 30. I don't know if any of the speakers have been set in stone because we're still early. I don't know if they even opened up the registration yet. I looked at the website and I could see all the stuff from 22. So check a look at it.
Somebody
for 23.
message Steve Anderson and tell him to jump on the live. And he can fill us in. Steve does a great job of organizing this thing.
But just like with any, I suppose, because I've only been to this one, I don't have anything to compare it to.
But that's why you're the perfect person.
I suppose
because
so.
You have a fresh eye. A fresh
That's
perspective.
what my wife said. She slapped me for that. So one of the things that I like, not knowing what to expect. Sorry, Steve. So I didn't know what to expect when you go to an ADV rally, right? Is it all your mud and riding in trees, and then you eat a little bit, and then you go mud and learn how to ride in mud, and but it wasn't. It was a bunch of different talks on a bunch of different subjects: riding subjects, cooking subjects,
Traveling.
packing subjects,
Repairing.
How to go places and where to go places and what you do when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also the accommodations were good.
Mm-hmm.
The food was good. We had places for tents. We had little cabins inside. But the thing that got me the most, or the thing that I was surprised at the most, was how many people were at my level coming in to these ADV rallies so that they could learn how to get to the next thing, or get a little insight to the next thing, or how to make your bike better, or how to sit on it right, or how to, there's a whole bunch of people that were at my 2 to 3 year level, and I thought I was walking into a bunch of 20 to 30 year experienced people
Veterans, yeah.
that were just gonna, I wouldn't get anything out of it because it was way beyond my expertise. So I was pleasantly surprised that,
You weren't the
that I
only
wasn't
one.
the only one.
Ah.
Right.
Well, we're all three professional photographers, and this is what I tell people all the time. The beauty about photography is, even though I've been doing it for years, there's always something new and interesting to learn.
Right.
And the same applies for motorcycle, right?
I suppose that's true.
So no matter how long you've been riding, there's always something new and interesting to learn.
Yeah, there were classes for riding, and I was supposing that there would be intermediate levels and things like that, so you can get onto what you want to. But then there was a fly fishing talk,
Yeah.
and there was yoga,
Yeah.
and there was, so it was not just motorcycle.
Mhm.
Do the hardest thing you could ever find, but don't do anything but that. Just got to do the hardest thing. Go for it.
Right.
But it wasn't that.
Right.
It was fun. Yeah.
What did you feel about the culture? How did you feel about just the hanging out? What did it feel like?
Well, you put me on the spot, but from our experience, because we were a set of the presenters, we had a bunch of people coming up to us and asking us questions on the things that we do in our YouTube channel and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the conversations that I had, the interactions that I had, were based around people coming to me because we were presenters that year.
Okay.
It would have been different if I hadn't been, because I would have been the person asking the questions.
Mhm,
So at this particular moment, this time, I didn't get to ask pointed questions as often.
Mhm.
But
I think
it
we
was
also
fun
had-
to talk to them.
We also had a home court advantage because you had been there many years before.
True.
Yeah. So I knew a lot of people. I love Horizons Unlimited. Sue and Grant Johnson founded it. Just the nicest people in the world. And we've already mentioned.
Yeah, they did
Steve-
round the world back along in like 2013 on a BMW.
before the internet was a thing.
Mhm.
So and they kept getting questions, while they're traveling, like, how is this border crossing? Is it safe to enter that country, and so on. And so instead of responding to each person individually by email, they created a forum, and then when they got back, they're like, hey, we should have some sort of, gathering. And so now they've got, meetups all over the world, and it's just such a neat gathering. Part of my question, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. of
That's
course.
all right. Well, I'm used to it. Go ahead.
I feel when the very first one that I went to and I showed up, everybody was so inviting and welcoming, and I instantly felt like I was in my tribe. I was like,
Okay.
these are my people. We share a common passion, we share a common bond, and everybody was just non-judgmental and welcoming and open and helpful.
Yes. Well, when you have this large of a commonality, I mean, when you decide to go on an ADV bike adventure, there's a whole lot of stuff that you have in common with a whole lot of people, and it's not just the bike or just the sleeping bag or just the destination, So there's a whole lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So Horizons Unlimited. What were the dates again?
April 27 through 30 and 23.
23.
Yeah.
We're planning to be there.
Yes.
I've been every year for like the last 5-6 years. I can't remember. Highly recommend it. The volunteers are incredible. The staff is fantastic. The venue is great. You can camp. You can stay in a bunkhouse. You can stay in a cabin. You can bring your RV. The speakers are amazing.
Oh, I have a list of last year's.
All right. Sam Manicom has been a speaker. We love Sam Manicom.
I mean, I would go through them all, but Jim Moss, how to take short trips.
Jim's
you don't have to do.
awesome.
You don't have to do 10 days every time. Across America on an
You don't?
antique motorcycle.
Don't say that too loud. My wife's watching.
How would you
Hi,
like-
Kim.
Right.
Is Kim on?
No, she's a school teacher. She's working.
Justin.
She's got a real job.
So what you're saying is, you need to tell me what to say. I'll say it, and then I'll edit this later.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you
But it's
can't edit it. It's alive.
alive. That went out the window.
So yeah, Brett Miller did fly fishing and off-road training, and Chris did photography, and then there was these three goofballs that did the Trans-America Trail, packing small hammocks for beginners.
Andrew does the packing small. He's
See,
a great
I mean, it's
presenter.
just all kinds of. How do you hammock with no trees? That's actually Steve.
It's called a tent.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There's tons of different subjects, and it's not just how to ride a bike, or where to go.
And they do some hands-on stuff too. There's rider training courses you can sign up for. There's how to change a tire. There's all kinds of hands-on stuff. But the nice thing about the Horizons Unlimited 2, to me, is that it's not huge. So, there might be 100, 200 people there, but it's a small feel community. You ever been to a city where it sort of still feels small, like a nice,
Hartsville.
village? Like Hartsville.
The unofficial mayor of Hartsville says so.
The unofficial.
That's right. So anyway, Horizons Unlimited, Virginia. It's just outside of Appomattox in a 4-H camp. So it's beautiful forest, beautiful riding all around. A lot of the guys that go do take off and do rides, but majority of folks just kind of hang out and reconnect and visit the different presenters and eat a lot. The food is great.
Of course.
I think the fun part though is when you're just out standing there and people walk up and everybody wants to talk about their bike and how they did this and did that and fixed this and fixed that.
Yeah. Everybody speaks the same language.
The Farkle tour. Who is it that does that?
Annette, I hope Annette's working today, but she said she would try and jump on during her lunch break. She's fantastic. Yeah, man, we all love our little toys. You got to have your Farkles on your bike.
Absolutely.
So take us to another part of the country.
All right, we'll do.
Windrider 57.
Hey, Windrider.
Wanted to know how we fared after the hurricane.
Hey, Cammie jumped on. Hi, Cammie. Love you.
That's his wife.
Or was she just signed off?
Just so,
No,
yeah, we did,
No, she didn't.
Yeah, we did okay for the hurricane. My backyard flooded and I got a little bit in the house, but other than that, everything's copacetic.
Oh, people asking questions?
Yep. He said ask if you're okay in the hurricane. Yeah, we're still here. See?
The only problem I had was I had a wedding on that night in Florence. The country club there didn't have power, so the reception had to be postponed today.
Oh, do it with candlelight, man. You got the new
They
Z9.
couldn't, couldn't cook any food for them. That was the sad part.
That would've been
Finger
trouble.
sandwiches. All right. Where's next?
All right, so next we're going to talk about, this is kind of a little dual one, but I'm specifically going to focus on one. But after April, move your calendar forward a little bit. I hope you guys have your calendars open. But the BMW MOA rally. Oh my gosh. This is like one of the shbong.
What does the MOA stand for?
A Motorcycle Owners Association. So
For those that aren't acronym oriented.
BMW MOA Motorcycle Owners Association does a humongous rally. We're talking, 2 to 8,000 people will attend this thing. And this is not to be confused with the BMW RA rally, which is the Riders Association rally. Now, the BMW RA rally just finished last weekend. And it was phenomenal. I know so many friends who were there. Sam Manicom again, Greg was there, Annette was there. All kinds of our friends attended the BMW RA rally, which was in Waynesville. And it's a much smaller, more like Horizons Unlimited type of event. A lot more about the riding, a lot more about the community just kind of hanging out. It's just a little bit more relaxed. But the BMW MOA rally is next on our list in terms of attending, just because of how massive it is. And when you get to these big rallies, the big benefit is all of the vendors. People like Horizons Unlimited and the RA rally, they can't attract the types of vendors that 8,000 people are going to attract. So if you want a real show, you should attend the BMW MOA rally. And this year it's going to be in Richmond, Virginia, just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Actually, the park is called Meadow Event Park. And this is their first time there. And if I remember correctly, somebody checked my Google search on this, but Secretariat, the famous racing horse, actually was born there. So I thought it was kind of a neat little quirk.
Now, do you have to
Horse,
have a BMW?
Iron Horse. Are you trying to make a connection here?
Ooh, see, I like how you think, man.
Do you have to have a BMW?
You do not, absolutely not. Obviously, it is sponsored by BMW. So there's going to be all kinds of rider training. There's going to be test riding. They say they may not have bikes for test riding at this year's. I think BMW has changed their policy. I think you can only do test rides at the dealership, but in the past they've had test riding. But there's all kinds of adventure training course. So they have a big facility where you can learn how to better ride your dirt motorcycles. And then they also have a street riding course, so you can do that. You can actually learn. Literally, they have a program that says learn how to ride a bike. So that there's every gamut of instructional program, presentation, slideshow, all kinds of different things that they have. And as I mentioned earlier, it's so big that they have booths out the wazoo.
I was about to say, you probably could buy some stuff.
Yeah, you want to put some new tires on your bike, there's a place to change your tires. You want to, pick out some new riding gear from Climb, there's going to be a booth, so you can go hands-on and feel and touch.
That's a good point, because in a rally that large, with that many booths and vendors, you get to contrast and compare hands-on any kind of gear that you're thinking about purchasing, and you're trying to decide what you want to get. You go feel this one, and then you go feel that one.
So you're saying, as opposed to just finding something on Marketplace?
That's what I'm saying.
But I get a better price.
Maybe we should do a Marketplace Live.
You guys won't believe what a wheeler dealer Steve is, man. What did you pick up on Marketplace recently?
Well, my Climb jacket.
Yeah, a third price or something.
But no, it was half price.
Okay.
Guy wore it 3 times and sold his bike and wanted to get rid of it, and so.
And the guy was 3 times large, like you.
He was my size, which was amazing. I mean, it was a fluke. So when you can pick up a Badlands jacket for $600, I think that's a win.
Pretty amazing. But the camera gear he buys, and he'll buy stuff off Marketplace, and I'm like, how did you do that?
Just gotta look.
And then he'll turn around and sell it for twice as much.
No. 3 times. No, because they need it or want to. I'm not sure. There's a fine line there.
So the BMW MOA rally again is June 8th through the 10th, just outside of Richmond, Virginia. So the other cool part, of course, is Richmond is perfectly situated. So many riding opportunities around it. So lots of great riding. No matter where you're coming from to get to Richmond, you're going to have some neat riding. Wes and Paula Fitzer, of course, you guys know them, are the chair. So they put on a heck of an event. What am I missing? Oh, I should mention that one difference between the RA and the MOA. The RA often has some of the the Riders Association is going to be more current guys, so you're riding GSs and current bikes, whereas the MOA rally, they have like a whole vintage bike section. So, all the old BMW airheads.
The ones that you used to ride.
Yeah. So, if you're into cool old bikes, there's a lot of that type of thing there, as well as the new stuff. But, so that's one cool thing about it. Again, I mentioned huge crowds. They often will rent out a fairground or a horse park or whatever, kind of like this one is. All bikes are welcome. I mentioned that before. There's a lot of technicians there as well. So, if you want to get your bike washed and checked and cleaned and, have a little bit of repair done, there's often people there that are offering those services.
I feel like we need one of those little bells like in high school or in school where it goes boom, 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 and they give the morning announcements. What else you got?
No, I think that's it.
Any
Any
questions?
questions? Anybody else? Anybody who's been to the BMW MOA rally on? Anybody? Any chats? You guys
Not
monitoring
yet.
the
Not
chats?
yet. Yeah, I'm watching them. Has anybody been to one that, mention ones that you've been to, so I can Google them and see what's up with that, but.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, these are just our suggestions, our thoughts on places that we would like to attend here on the East Coast, but definitely let us know your, which one. Again, the BMW MOA rally, like I said, very commercialized, very different from ADV Virginia or the BMW RA rally. But it's a trip. It's something you should see for sure.
Next.
Steve, are you up?
The Waylon Wayne weekend in Ohio. And it's
Hit the thumbs up if you ever heard of that one.
Have you ever heard of this one? I actually have a buddy back in Florence, Gary, and I actually talked to him on the way down here to get some real insight because he's actually been to it. He was supposed to go this past year, but he had his trailer all packed up, ready to go. In the morning, he's supposed to go. His wife tested positive for COVID.
Oh!
So he didn't get to go. He was bummed out.
That sounds
It's
familiar.
in the Hocking Hills.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Do we know somebody who
Been there, done it.
Do we
Got
know
the
somebody-
T-shirt. But it's near Hocking Hills, Ohio, which is in the southern part of Ohio, and kind of in the center. And it takes place at Hocking Hills College.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he described it was that it takes place like where the tailgating area is. They've got RV hookups, primitive camping. So I think you can bring the gamut.
I was wondering how that was going to work on a college campus. All these people are wandering around with their books, and you're riding in there through everybody with your motorcycle.
So he said it's a blast. He said the riding, they've got all different kinds. They've got beginner, they've got intermediate and advanced. They've got every day, just it's like the place clears out, and people go ride, and they come back in the evening, and then that's when they have the programs. And he said some people don't even go anywhere; they just kind of hang out and talk and meet and greet. And so it sounds like a phenomenal experience. They've got everything from dirt bikes to street rides to in fact, he was taking his wife so they could actually do some of the riding. But from what I could see on the website, the roads around there are amazing. Lots of twisties. Hocking Hills is actually a beautiful area. I was there probably 3 or 4 years ago with my son and grandkids and daughter-in-law, and we had a ball just hiking and going through and seeing.
It's a state park, right?
It's a state park, and it is beautiful. We stayed at the KOA there, and they had these little small cabins that were just awesome. So it's really cool. I would actually kind of had it on my calendar to go this year, but needless to say, I had weddings. That's the problem with being a photographer. Your weekends get booked years in advance, so it has its issues. But as far as what to do while you're there, I think it's pretty much like any kind of rally. There's going to be instruction, presentations, and just the camaraderie. I think it would be amazing.
But correct me if I'm wrong. From what you heard from your friend, but Sam Manicom, who we all know and love.
We're not name droppers.
We're not name droppers, but he said it's kind of amazing because during the day, everybody just disperses. Whereas a lot of the other rallies we go to, everybody hangs out. Now some still hang out, but the Waylon Wayne weekend is more riding. So if you want to hang out with a few people in the evening, but then ride all day, that's the one for you.
I looked it up. It's about 400 miles from Charleston, so it's not that far to get to. It's right
From
up,
us anyway.
right up 77. And I'm sure there's a bunch of side roads, so you could really make it a really cool trip, because I know that going up to Ohio, there's lots of times I want to get off the interstate and just ride the side roads. I think that would be just an amazing trip. It'd take 8 times as long, but it sure would be incredible.
Worth it.
Just way worth it.
Brent Miller, our buddy Brent, who you mentioned does the fly fishing presentation. He lives in Ohio, and so I'm sure he's been a number of times. But we had a comment from Mike Shell. Hey, Mike, how are you? Reiterating that the BMW MOA rally is much more commercialized, as we discussed, and the Waylon Wayne is obviously a more like a real rally, riding.
So apparently the guy that organizes the Waylon Wayne weekend, his name's Chad, and a super nice guy from what Gary told me. Just does a great job organizing it. And there's also other stuff that you can do if you're not into motorcycle. If you want to go experience it, they've got river rafting and tubing. They've also got some sort of train ride that goes up through and around. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff to do there.
So if you bring like a spouse or something and you don't want to just ride, you can do other stuff.
You have other stuff to do as well.
Very cool. Do you remember how much the cost was for Horizons Unlimited?
I don't. I would hate to say it and be wrong.
I want to say it's like 270-ish, maybe.
Well, it depends on your accommodations and the food choices that you do and things like that. So
package.
It does vary quite a large scheme depending on what you're.
I think Waylon, Wayne, they provide breakfast and dinner. Lunch is always on you.
Okay.
So they figure you're going to be out riding. So.
Yeah, we're doing something. Yeah.
That's one thing I liked about Horizons Unlimited is you have options. You can pick a package that's just breakfast,
a meal,
or a meal, or two meals,
or
3 meals. Yeah. The BMW, the MOA rally, you do not have to ride a BMW, and you do not have to be a member. The Motorcycle Owners Association is a club. So you don't have to be a member, but I think you get a discount if you are a member. So that's one thing.
One old man riding was, how much of it is bike focused?
All of these are mostly bike focused.
Yeah, you can make it as unfocused as you want. Once you get there.
We're professionals at making stuff unfocused. Look, shiny!
Make it your own. Look, go, enjoy, dive in as deep as you want to go and take a walk when you don't. That's my theory.
Thanks for jumping on, one old man. We appreciate you, man. We love all your comments. He leaves some funny comments on our videos.
But I am seriously thinking that Waylon Wayne needs to be on our agenda for next year after talking with Gary. He said he was fired up about it. He said there's also another one, and this is not on our list, but there's a place, there's one called Rib Fest in Tennessee near Nashville that's also, he's done that as well, and he loved it. So.
He said, what is it, Rib Fest?
Rib Fest.
I wonder why he's interested in that.
It just kind of came to me as we were sitting here talking.
In just a little while, he's going to be surfing Marketplace for a trailer hitch for his bike, for his Africa Twin, so he can take his cooker.
I've already, no. I'm working on that. I'll get back with you.
Ironic.
Pioneer smoker?
Pioneer smoker.
I'm just saying.
And your smoker haters, so there's an idea there. Mark, you don't need those tins back, do you? A couple of holes.
Put some charcoal in the
Charcoal on the
bottom.
bottom, man. Hey, I'm on to something here.
Hey, I said it first.
Hey, listen, remember when we were at Horizons Unlimited, Abe pulls up and he opens
Oh,
one of
my
his
God.
panniers full of ice and beer. One whole pannier.
Just nothing but a cooler. It was awesome.
I hope you're not on here yet, Abe. I apologize if I threw you on the bus. We love you,
Well, he
man.
wasn't. He
it
wasn't
was
drinking
brilliant.
right. It was where when he got to his spot.
That's true. That's
Of course,
true.
you have to say that as the. You have to say it really fast, like the Micro Machines guy back in the day. The disclaimers.
Yeah, so it gets in.
Hey, Mike, it's interesting that you talked about Overland Expo. Overland Expo East is either this weekend or
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Chris is actually going to talk about that. I had wanted to go to it for another reason. And I'll let Chris talk about it and then I'll fill in at that point. But
I guess we're at the point where we're talking about Overland Expo East.
well, almost. I want to back up to
He's gonna
not only
preempt-
Rib Fest but also the.
Speaking before you do that, I'm going to interrupt you, but we are at a barbecue joint. Ledyard's
Convenient.
Barbecue.
That's right.
We're at Ledyard's Barbecue doing this. They are not open Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but an adventure bike rider that we know owns the place. Cheyenne, if you're on,
He should be.
you should be on.
Unless
Thanks,
he's
buddy.
busy.
We
He does have a
appreciate
restaurant, though.
you opening your place for us. Well, I don't know if you can read it because of the glare, but what's it say? May the Q
Be with you.
So, it's the only way we can get Steve down here was
That's
to tell
a
him
lie.
we're having it
That's
at
a
barbecue.
lie.
Now you're making me hate all the signs in the room.
So at the Waylon Wayne and also at Rib Fest, they set up a trials course. Now the Rib Fest ones, they will actually score you every time you put your foot down, every time whatever. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
But I think the Waylon Wayne does that as well. If somebody knows, chime in. But it's all for fun, and I think I saw a video on the Rib Fest one where that you get your bike to go down a log sideways.
So basically, you got to invite Paul Torres to
I think it would be fun. I mean, there's puddles and obstacles and stuff like that, and hey, challenge your skill set. That's what it's all about, anyway.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And the prize of a free beer afterwards. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, when we go.
All right, so thanks again for bringing up Overland Expo. That is actually our next top dog on our list. If you're opening your calendar up, let's look ahead to October 7th through 9th, 2022.
That just sounded like we were at church and you said, if you'll open your hymnals to page 247. We'll sing the first and the third. We got high school and we got church so far. What else we got?
Now, Jason's humorous comment cut off Mike, but
It didn't.
2022. So that's next weekend. So they don't have 2023's dates yet.
Thanks, Mike.
Obviously, they're going to
Appreciate
announce
that.
Yep, thanks for bringing it up, Mike. But that is actually on our list. So Overland Expo is another top priority. If you're an adventure motorcyclist, you got to make it to Overland Expo East. We're at East this time. You know, they have 3 now, but the original one was in Prescott, Arizona. It was founded in 2009, long time ago. Been going on forever, but it's another huge one. It's big, partly because it's not just motorcycles. So this is overlanding. Everybody knows, you guys know what overlanding is?
Well, it sounds self-explanatory.
Isn't that what we do?
It's not sailing.
It certainly
Flying a
is.
motor,
It's not scuba diving.
Yes, it's not snorkeling.
Overland.
It's not tunneling.
Oh, you guys crack me
I
up.
think it's a fancy name for I just want to go camping.
Overlanding is traveling the world, but crossing borders on a vehicle that's on the land.
I got that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where overlanding comes from. And of course, any of the RTW people, you know, guys who have
Around the
traveled around the
world.
world or done big motorcycle trips, you know, Alaska to Ushuaia or any of these big adventures, they're overlanding. That's what they do, except the Darien Gap. Somebody's going to say something about that. But anyway, yeah, so Overland Expo East is something that's very high on the list. You guys should definitely check it out. Not only are you going to have adventure bikers there, people who are doing all kinds of big trips, but you're also going to have truck campers. Steve goes, dually, you're going to have all kinds of camper vans, adventure camper vans. He's going to jump in a minute. He's just going to cut me right off. I'm going to talk as fast as I can. Schoolies, you might have a schoolie or 2 there.
Great sponsors, Mainland Overlanders out of Pennsylvania,
Oh.
Charlotte, and New Hampshire.
So
will
he's
be
just
there.
going to jump in.
How do I know that? Because they sell 4-wheel campers. Anybody seen one of those?
Go on. Tell us about your 4-wheel camper. I know you're
I just
busting
ordered
to
it.
get it out.
It won't be here till November, so I can't tell you a whole lot other than the fact that I'm chomping at the bit to get it and build it out. So
Pretty cool.
it's
Does it sleep 3?
no, it's for me and my wife. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, but even after the offer, I'm in the tent outside.
Listen, it'll be a great base camp. Let's just put it that way.
I wonder what that sounds like inside a tin can.
Yeah, snoring. Y'all would not want to be in there with me snoring, I promise.
How does Kim do it? That's what I want to know.
She's a very patient woman.
She wears earplugs.
No, she tells me to put my CPAP machine on. But I can't even snort through that. That's pretty bad.
Anyway, Overland Expo East.
All right, you can carry on.
Highly
I got mine.
recommended. Roseanne and Jonathan Hansen founded it, again, as I mentioned back in 2009. Amazing, you know, they're just amazing travelers and journalists and humanitarians. They're just beautiful people who have traveled the world over and over again. And they founded it, and it just exploded. Again, it's all kinds of people, and mainly focused on travel. So majority of the emphasis, of course, is getting out into the wilderness or traveling to foreign countries. So you'll see a lot of that type of thing. Vans all set up with 4-wheel drive, you know, people who can go down into the gullies in Moab and can traverse the mud in the Congo and, you know, stuff like that. But a huge segment of motorcyclists. So highly recommended as well. Jonathan and Roseanne are no longer actually owners of the foundation anymore. They have their own different ventures. They're both very much involved with education and journalism and exploration, conservation, stuff like that. But Lodestone Events is now the current owner and sponsor of the event. But they're continuing that tradition that Jonathan and Roseanne started and really do a fantastic job. Highly recommended. It's a huge event, thousands of people again, but they keep a pretty good small time feel. Now, when you get there, the cool part is almost everybody's camping, and so the motorcyclists kind of go off and have their little village. So that's kind of neat. You get a small town community of motorcyclists within this big gathering. Over 200 vendors, 150 plus programs, typically with over 100 different high class, top-notch presenters and speakers, people who have done expeditions that you would not believe. So really neat to be able to have access to those top guys that are doing adventures that are only in our dream books, you know, budget-wise and time-wise and all that stuff. But it's just neat to be able to dream and be able to listen to these guys who have done some amazing things. So highly recommend it. But again, it's a big event, so they draw a ton of sponsors. So you can have people like your truck camper guys, tire people, you know, all kinds of rigs that you can outfit your vehicles with.
My buddy David Mace is going to be there
This weekend, yeah.
weekend.
We have a lot of friends that are going to be there.
He's teaching how to fly drones.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Hey, he's got his new DJI Mavic 3.
Yeah, ask him why.
Have you seen his hands? He might not be the one to teach us how to fly drones.
No. Have you seen his last episode on Amazing Life where he crashed the drone and had to go hiking?
Oh yeah,
There was a couple back. His last one through Moab? No, through,
it's out west.
it was a BDR of some sort.
Yeah.
Any BDR?
No, Idaho.
Oh, no, Idaho BDR. Fantastic. David,
That's where he lost it.
great stuff, man. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Amazing Life, it's a really good YouTube channel.
Well, I'm gonna give you a
He
heads
took
up.
my place on the Florida trip.
Right. We are 20 minutes to the top of the hour.
All right.
Just giving you a heads up on our timing.
So should we bring up the last episode?
You mean the last on the list?
Last on the list?
Our special
Certainly not the
guest.
last.
Yep.
I'll mention real quick, the Overlanding Expo also has like a little film festival. Again, being large, they have all kinds, so you have so many different programs all throughout the day, like a bunch of different tracks. But in the evenings, I mean, we're talking, you know, happy hour, live music, film festivals. It's a rockin' event.
Rocking.
Yeah.
Cool.
Daily passes, weekend pass for an overlanding vehicle is $180, and for motorcycles, $165. That includes all the camping you want and all that stuff. But everything's included. All right, excellent. Overlanding Expo East is definitely going to be, you know, fall. So look for October somewhere next year. We're going to try and make that. Put that on your calendar.
And it's in Arrington, not Arlington.
Arrington. And amazing riding. It's right in the midst of the Blue Ridge Mountain Range, in the middle, in fact, of, what was that forest that we went through? George Washington. And Jefferson National Forest. Beautiful riding. So we just finished the MABDR, the Mid-Atlantic Backcountry Discovery Route, and it goes right through those forests. So beautiful riding.
Pretty.
All right, shall I, hey Cheyenne? I'll go get him. He's running the restaurant, so
He's running the food.
He's got a really
It is.
Hey, there's our man.
How you guys doing today?
doing good.
All right.
So scoot on in towards Steve. He won't bite you.
All right.
But everybody, welcome our good friend Cheyenne Ledyard from Ledyard's Barbecue and our favorite right here, homegrown Charleston Palmetto ADV Rally, Cheyenne Ledyard.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
You bet.
I thought, when you guys contacted me earlier about, hosting the show here at the restaurant, that was awesome. And the support you guys give to the rally, you guys make it even more awesome, than maybe it even is at times.
Maybe
No,
Before you get into the rally,
sure.
tell me about your restaurant.
I'm not here for the rally. I'm here.
I can understand that. So yeah, we're here at 1426 Central Avenue here in Somerville, very close to Knightsville. We have we're open Thursday through Sunday. We have a full barbecue menu from sliced brisket, burnt-in sausages, pulled pork, pulled chicken.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we even have some
Two of
lake
each.
quarters, all the southern sides.
For us vegetarians, they got lima beans.
Oh yeah, probably not real vegetarian friendly here, But I don't go to the vegetarian restaurants and ask for a hamburger.
So burn-ins don't have any meat in it.
What?
I guess I don't know if burn-ins you had. No, our burn-ins are succulent. So yeah, it's nice, very nice brisket.
So yeah, so cool. So Thursday through Sunday.
Yep, Thursday through
All
Sunday, we do all day, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Cool.
Sundays we're a little bit shorter. We do 12 to 6.
Cool.
And you can also find us at the North Charleston Coliseum. We do all the Stingrays games, all the concerts. I know,
nice.
We've got some big concerts coming up. Kevin Holmes maybe or something like that. I don't know. I don't listen
Not
to
a big
a lot of
concert
music,
guy.
but anyhow, yeah, we've got some big concerts coming
That's
up with
awesome.
Stingrays.
We need to get you guys in at the Volvo, the Credit One Charleston Open.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
big stadium out there.
Hey,
Cool.
I'm always open for new business.
So your ADV rally, is it the first of the year? The first one in this area of the year?
We've tried to set it up that way.
Cool.
Well, we have an advantage here in Charleston
Yeah.
that our weather turns,
Right.
you know, yes, riding season's a little bit earlier down here
Right.
than maybe in some other areas. So we take advantage of that.
What are the dates again?
It's going to be March 16th through the 19th.
So put that on your calendar, and as Cheyenne said, the beauty is if you live up in the mountains or somewhere and you're just living through hell because you can't ride your bike in the middle of winter, put this on your calendar because you can come on down here and do all the fun riding you want to do. We're like, this is the first big adventure rally of the year.
Sure, we'll have space for trailers. I've got more space this year than we had last year.
Great.
We've actually moved the rally to a more camp-friendly location. It's going to be at Blackwater on the Ashley this year, which is a 120-acre lake that essentially we have all access to. So bring your fishing poles. You know,
Awesome.
Yeah, we can have
Brent,
a great
bring
time.
those fly rods down. Teach us how to fly.
Yeah, so, you know, but no, it's going to be a great rally. We've got a lot of great support, live music. We've added another day this year.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
so last year we just did Friday through Sunday. This year we're going to do Thursday through Sunday. That gives you an extra day to ride.
Uh-huh.
Actually, an extra day to even come in, you know, and settle down and then go riding.
Gotcha.
So you're not
Nice.
rushed.
That's right.
So when you say Thursday, mostly like arrive late in the afternoon Thursday?
Yeah, you know, I think we're going to start accepting people around noon.
Okay.
You know, if someone really wanted to come earlier, just let us know. We'll try to accommodate, you know, the best we can.
Okay.
But last year, I think most people came in around noon to 2, you know, and then later on in the evening. And yeah, you
in
just set
after
up your campsite, you know, we're going to have a barbecue dinner. I've got some great speakers this year. I know the founder of the Star, Chris Cox,
Yep.
is going to be one of our
Nice.
speakers this year.
How come we didn't invite Chris to join us here? Doug, what was that?
No, yeah, that'd have been a great one. We
You have to do another one.
if you were at the rally last year, we're gonna have Ben Myberg back.
Nice.
He's a world traveler and moto instructor, and then we're gonna have
He's
Mark.
awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's an awesome guy. And then we have Mark Wing as well. That's
Nice.
gonna come and give us a introduction to his Southeast Adventure Center that he's putting together in Bowman, South Carolina.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So yeah, and you know, with the rally, we're on Eventbrite, so you can buy tickets there,
Right there.
along with all the other excursions that we're going to include with the rally this year. So that's another new thing that we're doing.
Awesome.
So if you've ever been on, you know, an all-exclusive vacation or such, sometimes when you get to the resort, they have different things that you can go do. And we're going to, you know, offer those services
That's cool.
this year. So yeah, it should be fun and lots of things to do. Hopefully our motor vendor village is going to be a lot bigger this year
Nice.
than it was last year. Almost all, like I said, almost all the campsites are going to be on the water this year, which is
Nice.
going to be kind of cool.
Yeah. Especially that
was-
time of year because there aren't a ton of bugs in March.
No, look, honestly, March is one of my favorite times of year
Absolutely.
here in South Carolina.
You wake up and
especially-
it's just got that crispness to it. 62, you know, and then by midday it's, you know, beautiful sunny 70. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And
Sunny. If it's not, it's his fault.
I'll tell you, we're going to do a rain or shine. So, you know,
Nice.
if it's not raining, we're not training. So, yeah, that comes off another YouTube channel. I don't want to steal his line, but, you know,
That's perfect.
Corporal's Corner, if you want to, you know, check his YouTube channel out.
Absolutely.
He's awesome. But no, I also got some great corporate sponsors this year. Double Take Mirrors going to be
Oh,
involved.
awesome.
Touratech was involved last year. They're going to be re-involved this year. Some local guys, the Upstate Rider Training.
Nice.
He's going to be involved. We've got some team members from the State Motorcycle Safety Association that's going to be here.
Okay.
So we're going to have a lot of different things. A new sponsor we have is Moto Camp Nerd.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so they're going to be here this year, and they're going to have some things set up that you can, buy if you.
Great
Maybe
place to buy all
something
the camper gear.
you're missing in your kid, or maybe you dropped it on the way here. So yeah, sometimes that happens. One of the greatest things about the Palmetto Rally is that we're only about a half mile to a quarter mile from the SCAR this year.
Who's got their SCAR shirt on?
Yeah, I don't have a SCAR shirt. I need a SCAR shirt.
I got a star sticker.
But we're gonna have a low country boil. We're gonna have barbecue. Like I said earlier, live music. Bonfires, good times. A lot of tall tales, I'm sure, at night.
Of course.
Oh, that would never happen.
I loved your bonfire barrel thing last year. You can have that back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to handle it out there. Yeah,
That thing's
sure.
huge.
It is.
man.
And you're providing some of the meals.
Yeah, so this year all the meals are included.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you pay one price.
Beautiful.
For one price, you get 4 days of camping. You get all your meals except for lunch. I think most guys are going to be out riding for lunch.
Sure.
But free breakfast, free dinner.
Nice.
Like I said, we're going to have low country boil, barbecue dinners 2
Awesome.
nights.
There was so
let's
much
see if I
food
missed
last
anything
year.
here.
It was unbelievable. Couldn't-
Coffee stations, I think that was one thing that people really asked for, to have more coffee stations in the mornings.
Okay,
So we're going to make sure that all your coffee is provided.
You're supposed to bring your own little,
And if you want to do that, we have day passes. So if you truly just want the ultimate camp experience and not really, get,
Oh yeah.
the full rally package,
Sure.
you can come in a day and
That's
do,
cool.
So we've got a day package for you as well.
I love that you're starting a day early, because especially the guys that are, up in the mountains or, north of us or south of us, they can make like an event out of it, Come on
100%.
down, hang out, spend some time.
Well, it's like he was saying. If somebody's coming from a distance, you need a bit of downtime before you ramp right back up again. So,
You just,
Get
get in,
settled.
settle down, get your campsite set up.
Yep.
If you're there with a bunch of buddies, get everyone organized so,
Right.
get your rides downloaded. We're going to
Yeah.
have several different rides.
Yeah.
We're actually going to have, as kind of a surprise, Chris Cox. It's going to be very limited, but he's going to give a tour
Of the
ride
Star?
of the Star.
Nice.
So I'm not sure how we're going to work that all out yet, but stay tuned.
Chris Cox and 65 motorcycles behind him.
No, see, that's the thing. It's not going to be that large, exactly. Yeah, so it's going to be a very limited number, and I'll let him.
And they're going
determine that
3 wide
number.
into turn 2.
Yes, and that
hey
could so
guys,
happen.
is it dusty up there for you?
Where's the trail?
Steve's front wheels wobbling, Steve's front wheels. Oh, Steve's down in the dirt.
That's some of the 30 people behind him.
But now hopefully there's something for everyone and all skill levels.
Good.
I think the only thing to remember coming to our rally is that there's no private trails, so the ADV bikes need to be street legal.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we're near the Francis Marion and of course the Scar and a bunch of other places. And, for lunch, we got tons of places to stop and chill out.
And just
Mom and pops.
ride out to Folly Beach or Isle of
Or here
Palms.
later.
Yeah, well, one thing that we're trying to put together are, getting more sponsors for the rally, and a great way that if you have a business and you want to support the rally, we'll put you on the route, and that way the destination is the lunch.
Oh, there you go.
And then we'll use them as a waypoint essentially. Get a
How do
discount
they-
on lunch or something like that.
How do they contact you for that then?
Ashcraft.
Well,
Studio.
so if anything, if you have any questions, tickets, we're on Eventbrite at Palmetto ADV Rally 2023. If you want to contact me personally, it's Palmetto ADV Rally at gmail.com. So any questions, concerns,
How many bikes did you have last year?
we had about 30 campers.
Wow.
And that was,
First time out of the chute.
and I started promoting it in January. We had it in March, so 10 campers a month. I thought it was doing pretty good there.
60 days, that's not bad.
But I think it was the right size.
For the inaugural? Yeah.
Yes, it was the right size because anymore,
Yeah.
maybe,
It was a good test run.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
It was, last year was kind of a grassroots grow with a party kind of thing.
100%.
What was your inspiration for starting the whole thing?
So, I mean, really, I just wanted to,
Get some buddies?
yeah,
Want to go camping?
yeah, I mean,
I want to make some friends. Welcome.
Sorta, and yeah, that's essentially what it came down to.
That's
I bought a motorcycle,
Mhm.
and when I lived in Asheville, I lived up there about 4 years. That's a bigger community of the BMWs and such like that. So you don't really see them as prevalent down here as you do up there.
Right.
So I really kind of fell in love with that kind of motorcycle because I always rode Harleys and such like that.
Mhm.
But once I bought my first adventure bike,
Mhm.
oh man,
It's
blew
a
me out
game
the water.
changer.
It is
It's
a game changer. You can go anywhere on it,
Mhm.
where I couldn't do that with some of the other bikes I owned. And yeah, the camaraderie is awesome.
And tell us what you ride again.
I ride a Yamaha Tenere 700.
G7.
Yeah, so for my first
I
adventure
drool
bike.
over his bike every time we get together.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Then he has to wash it.
It needs washed. I haven't washed it in a while.
I gotta go start drooling. Yeah.
That's a sweet bike. What year's yours?
2021.
21.
Yes.
And he's got it decked out.
Yeah, for the most part, I have a lot of bells and whistles on there.
Sweet.
Well, everybody come see it if they come to the Palmetto ADV Rally in March.
That's right. You gotta come
Bike
see the
tours.
bike. Come show us your bikes. Have a good time. Bring the family.
Yours.
Oh boy.
Yep, we're live.
It's about time, isn't
It
it?
is. We're 5 minutes out, so we can.
Time to wrap it
You
up.
know what? In 5 minutes happens.
What's that?
Eats.
Oh, that's right.
We got
Not
eats.
late.
We got a great barbecue platter for you guys today.
Sweet.
Awesome. So excited.
All right then.
Questions, what do we got?
We're
Everybody
good.
Been following, everybody good?
Yep, we made it. We've covered everything.
Do you guys have any questions? Leave us a comment, let us know.
We'll
Yep.
get back with you.
Yep.
We'll get back with you.
Cool.
We did go over by about 2 or 3 minutes last time, so maybe we can cut it off early. No,
All right. So
Well, I have one thing
Uh-oh.
for all your viewers. All right, we're going to do a special promo for the rally. It's going to be promo code Moto Photo.
Oh,
If you use that code, you'll get $20 off your weekend rally ticket.
sweet.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did we
And
put that in the
that's-
Eventbrite?
It's in the Eventbrite, and there's only going to be 20 of those available. So,
How many?
20.
20. Wow.
20 for 20.
There's only 17 now.
MOTOPHOTO. Moto Photo.
That's right. That's right.
That
Moto
is
Photo
awesome.
in the promo code and save yourself $20. First
Awesome.
20,
So how much is this rally?
165.
165.
Perfect.
That's
Cool.
4 days of camping, all
That's
meals
perfect.
except for lunch,
Nice.
and as much coffee as you can drink. Live music at
How
night.
much barbecue as I can eat.
And that's true as well. Like I think last year it ended up being an all-you-can-eat buffet, so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So basically the same price as what you would pay at Overland Expo, but a lot nicer people.
Joseph Anderson says thanks for the discount.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's my
See,
pleasure.
We're gonna be there for sure. We know that Palmetto ADV Rally is the one that we put on our list immediately. So we're obviously gonna be there. The others, we're gonna try to make it to Virginia, HU Virginia, we're gonna probably be there as well.
That's Horizons Unlimited for those that are.
And the others, we try to, but if Steve books a big wedding and I book a conference.
Something's got to pay the bills.
It's really, really hard.
I understand that one.
Something's got to pay the bills.
But we try to, they're on our list, so if we don't book something, we'll be at the other 4 as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple YouTubers that are going to be there. The Bearded Gump is coming.
Oh, is he really?
That's
They had,
awesome.
I invited them last year. They had some obligations. Hopefully, they can make it this year.
I watched his newest video before I came over here this morning, where he raised the bones on his
Yes,
V-strom. He's got another hitch.
Yeah, he rides the same. You ride a
He
V-strom
he's
as
an
well. Yeah.
08. I ride an 11. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, So they're gonna try to make it,
Nice.
and maybe even a bigger channel on YouTube.
Cool.
I don't want to give that out yet
Oh, yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't have a
That's-
100% commitment.
In TV, that's
You-
called a teaser.
You mean bigger than Moto Photo Adventures?
Well,
It was hard to do. It was really hard to do. But possibly, possibly.
Well, Cheyenne, we really appreciate it, man.
My pleasure. It's as always, it's awesome. I'm so looking forward to hanging out with you guys at the rally
cool.
Yeah.
and
Wonderful.
watching more of your videos.
Yeah, man.
Same. We look forward
Jason,
to it.
when's the next one coming out?
What? The next video?
Yeah.
Soon.
Not to throw them under the bus or anything.
Jason's working on Mad Dirt 2
All right.
right now.
Thanks, guys.
everybody. Appreciate it.